Hello and welcome to my channel. Welcome to another tarot reading from me. So this topic is going to be on what do men find attractive about you, and I'm going to get straight into it. So this is for those of you who would like to choose with crystals. I will mention once again that I have chosen the crystals intuitively, basically meditated upon the question, asked spirit which crystals I should choose for this particular topic. And these are the crystals that stood out in this particular order. So pile number 1, you have this clear quartz crystal. All right. Pile number 2, you have this aquamarine crystal. Pile number 3, you have this black onyx crystal. All right, so these are your options. You can pause the video, take more time to meditate, and choose whichever pile stands out to you intuitively without overthinking it. And of course, if you feel drawn to more than one, feel free to watch several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. Before I sign off, I will remind you to please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done so already, it is the easiest way to support me, and it is free. And also consider clicking on the notifications bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new tarot reading. I will see you at your pile. All right, so this is for those of you who want to choose with a card as well as a crystal. This is going to be the selection for the card. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What do men find attractive about pile number 1? Tell me about pile number 2. What do men find attractive about pile number 2? Spirit, tell me about pile number 3, the black onyx. What do men find attractive about pile number 2? Pile number 3, sorry. You know what I'm talking about. So, let's see. Okay, pile number 1, we have this card with abundance. Pile number 1, sorry. I did say pile number 1, yeah. Pile number 2, we have this card with intuition. Pile number 3, we have this card with harmony. Okay, so let me zoom in. All right, so these are your options. Once again, for those of you who would like to choose with a card as well as a crystal, we have pile number 1, this card over here, and or this clear quartz crystal. It has to look cute. Pile number 2, you have this card over here and or this aquamarine crystal. All right, pile number 3, you have this card over here and or this black onyx crystal. All right. So these are your options. You can pause the video, take more time to meditate upon the question. My recommendation, as usual, is that you take some moments to relax, center yourself with your eyes closed, deep breaths, exhale longer than you inhale. That will help center you and calm you down. Meditate on the question. You can also address it to a higher power like God, Spirit, whoever you follow, or your guardian angels. And open your eyes and choose the first pile that stands out to you intuitively without overthinking it. If you feel drawn to more than one, feel free to watch several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. I will see you at your reading. Okay, pile number 1, this is your reading if you have chosen this card with abundance and or the clear quartz crystal. So this is going to be the card selection phase. I'm going to add timestamps. You can skip directly to the interpretation if you don't want to sit through it. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What do men find attractive about pile number 1? So let's see. We have the Sun, Ace of Pentacles, the Tower, the 3 of Cups, the 3 of Swords, the King of Wands, Let's get some more cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What do men find attractive? Oh my gosh, 3 of Swords again. The Chariot. The 4 of Cups. No. Tell me about pile number 1. 10 of Wands. 5 of Pentacles. The World card. Let's see, some Oracle cards. Hold on, let me fix this. Okay. Okay, that's better. Let's get some Oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What do men find attractive? About pile number 1, we have Swan Grace. All right, and let's get one of these, which are a nightmare to shuffle. Tell me, Spirit, what do men find attractive about pile number 1? The people who chose the clear quartz crystal. Tell me, Spirit. This one feels right. The Bardo. L. I think L is 50 in Roman numerals. Honestly, I do not remember. Last time I did Roman numerals was like in the 2nd grade, and I haven't really used it much. So don't judge. I'm pretty sure that L is 50, but I'm not 100% sure. So comment in the comment section if it's not correct. I'm going to take it as 50. And the Bardo, honestly, I'm not 100% sure what the Bardo refers to, but I think it's something like like the underworld or limbo, something like that. So we have this card with 50, number 5, that's ruled by Mercury. And we have Swan Grace. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. And you also have this Oracle card with Abundance, which also looks really like graceful and pretty. And then you have the 3 of Swords coming out twice. And you also have the Tower, pile number 1. Wow. This is what I'm seeing here. So let me start to unfold. The general feeling that I'm getting here is, first of all, you're not someone who seems like a cookie cutter sort of person. And it's like, it's not necessarily that you are a savage, like, difficult individual, but I think men sense the fact that you have a certain intensity about you. With the 3 of Swords coming out twice, there might also be a touch of melancholy. And this is also honestly kind of a feeling from men that you might be a heartbreaker, or they pine for you in many ways, like emotionally. I think men, well, they find you intriguing and they find you attractive because you seem like someone who has a lot of deep emotions. But they're also probably nervous that you're going to hurt their feelings because you are someone who is, well, not superficial and could easily get under their skin. The Sun, though, and the 3 of Swords underneath, that's like, wow, it really intense. So you do come across as someone who is confident, someone who has overcome obstacles. That's another thing. I think men can sense that you're someone who has gone through a lot of things, like that's probably why, even though on the surface you might also come across as like pretty and graceful and, feminine even, I think men can sense that undercurrent of intensity of like someone who, has seen the rough side of life, maybe in some ways, maybe dealt with a lot of obstacles, with a lot of frustrations, maybe with a lot of people working against you. I mean, depending on how well the men in question know you, if they are aware of things that happen in your life, they really admire the fact that you seem tough, like you have an undercurrent of toughness about you, like you're not to be messed with. And really, despite your, like I said, despite the surface appearance that you might be really cute and, even attractive physically, there's that, sense of you could get down and dirty, and you could really be savage if someone crosses you. I really think that many men think of you as the one that got away, or that honestly what I'm seeing here, okay, maybe not directly related to what they find literally attractive about you, but I think you're the kind of person that many men are afraid to approach because they're afraid of getting hurt. There's this feeling of like, especially with the Three of Swords and the Five of Pentacles underneath, there's a feeling of like you're someone who could easily break up with them, or maybe to some extent you also come across as shut down emotionally. And I think some men, especially the ones who are, more emotionally mature and wise and all that, they might speculate that you are shut down because of painful experiences. But either way, they feel threatened in a way, or they feel, they have qualms about approaching you because they're terrified that you're going to break their hearts and they might get really attached to you. I think that what you do seem as, though, is kind of a ride or die sort of person. So I think that's what they find really attractive about you. I feel like men sense that you're someone who does not easily give your affection or time to anyone, to just anyone. And so they think that the person who's going to end up with you is going to be very lucky. But at the same time, they also sense, like I said, so that you're very demanding, and they have, like, I think you really bring out insecurities in men, really. I mean, I'm sorry if it sounds a bit negative, but I think you really hit a nerve when it comes to men. Like, they can sense that you're not someone who's easily deceived. Like, you can see through the surface level of things. And yeah, like they can't have a mask around you, right? So I think you're the kind of person who triggers narcissists like hell. Because you seem like someone who doesn't pull your punches, and you can seem, very direct and very blunt and very intense. I have to say, with the card of abundance, and you also have the Ace of Pentacles and the seven, sorry, not the seven, well, the number 7, yeah, but it's the Chariot underneath. I think what men also find attractive about you is that you come across as pretty resourceful. So you come across as someone who does not wait for a man to take care of you. So realize that, yes, I am mainly addressing to women or people who are feminine, but take it how it resonates, right? Because, well, most of my viewers are women, but again, you can take it how it resonates. You can adapt it to your own gender, right? So if you're a straight man, it just means that men admire the fact that, well, to be fair, if you're a straight man, you're probably not watching this, but if you're a gay man, let's say, men admire the fact that you make your own money, right? That's pretty much it. So they admire your resourcefulness, like your ability to make your own money, to take care of yourself, and to be a go-getter, basically. Like, they see that you're not someone who waits around to be saved, I think. So you come across as really capable overall. The King of Wands in the World, this is showing that you come across as someone who's quite adventurous, maybe someone who has traveled a lot. Again, if you are someone who posts pictures on social media of your travels, men may find that very attractive, that you're someone who has an adventurous spirit, or they admire the fact that you are not afraid to get out of your comfort zone, pretty much. And the world also makes me think of, a woman of the world or a man of the world, someone who has seen things. So you have a broad view of the world, and you have like a lot of insights and, how should I put it? Yeah, a lot of insights and a lot of wisdom about how the world works, basically. That's what I'm pretty much seeing here. I think men, also with the Three of Cups and the Ten of Wands, I think men look at you as someone who, I think they look at you and they think that you're someone that other people have taken advantage of. Like, you were betrayed. You have, like, let's say, traumas connected to being betrayed by people you really cared about. And maybe even to the point where you seem like you're carrying other people's responsibilities, or you're taking care of a lot of other people that maybe you shouldn't be taking care of. So see how that resonates. That could be, I don't know, maybe you have kids you're taking care of. It could be family you're taking care of. But it seems like, men look at you like someone who has had to deal with a lot of, I think, people trying to take advantage of you. That's pretty much it. Like, that's the best way that I can explain it. Wow, I really think like you're definitely the kind of person who brings out very strong emotions in men. Like, I feel like you're the kind of person that men try very hard not to get emotional about. Like, either there's something about you that is very triggering, but especially since this is a topic of attractiveness, this is about your attractiveness, right? So I think it's mostly like men are trying very hard not to fall for you because they feel like you might hurt them. And like, they're really, practicing self-control and discernment. And I feel like a lot of men actually try to play it cool in front of you, but they're really rattled by your presence, you know? I think also men admire your confidence, your fire. So you could be someone who has a lot of fire in your horoscope as well, with the sun and the King of Wands. So placements in Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, or very strong fire planets, Mars, or the sun or Jupiter. So basically, you come across, honestly, quite self-sufficient. Again, this may or may not be true, but this is how you come across. So I think that men are, on the one hand, intrigued and they really admire that about you, but they're also kind of, like I said, made to feel insecure. Like, maybe they think that if they were to get in a relationship with you, you would not really need them as much. Or, like I said, I feel like men are terrified of the fact that you can just pick up and leave. But they still find you very fascinating and very attractive. All right, let me get astrological cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What do men find attractive about pile number 1? We have Venus, love and beauty. We have Gemini, the communicative. I did say 50 is Mercury. We have 11th house, community and technology. We have the south node of the moon, old karma. And we have 3rd house, communication and interaction. So very strong messages and confirmations. Venus definitely shows that men admire your beauty. You could be someone who has a very feminine, sensuous kind of aura about you. Venus is pretty much the epitome of the wife archetype, what men find ideal in a wife. So I think many men can look at you like wife material, like they think you would make a good wife, a good partner. And it also shows you have a lot of features that they find attractive. You could have traditionally feminine features like a nice hourglass shape, or nice skin, nice hair, a nice smile, a pretty mouth. So something very kind of traditionally pretty. So that makes sense also with the abundance and the swan grace. I think you might also come across as someone who has an artistic sense, artsy. We also have Gemini, and like I said, 50 is the number of Mercury. So Gemini makes me think of Ardra. Like, honestly, when I saw the Bardo and when I saw the Tower, okay, some of you might have placements in Ardra, but doesn't have to be absolutely the case. And I mean Ardra Nakshatra, which is in sidereal Gemini. And that is a nakshatra that's quite savage, that, has the potential to be really destructive. And, it's connected to animals and wildlife and all this stuff. It's like a nakshatra that shows women who are very tough, for instance. Well, women and men, actually. But again, I'm referring mostly to women because most of the people watching my channel are women. But they can also be very attractive as well, especially very pretty eyes. So, but Gemini is also a youthfulness, okay? So I think men admire your youthfulness. They think you seem, curious, maybe, for kind of like a forever young sort of energy, you know. Maybe you're funny. And there could be something tiny about you, like petiteness. Also with the south node of the moon and Gemini, maybe you are smaller than average or shorter than average or something. There's something cutesy about you, I think, that men find attractive. The south node of the moon also speaks of you having a touch of supernatural, to the point of having very sharp intuition. So this really explains what I said about men feel that they cannot hide from you. Like, you have very sharp intuition and you can see through anything. So even though, yes, they find that attractive, but they also potentially feel uneasy around you because of that. They feel exposed, maybe. We also have the 11th house and the 3rd house. So the 11th house, again, Venus, again, this is also about money. So maybe they see you as someone who's quite abundant or someone who's capable of making good money. 11th house also is about humanitarian causes. It's about large communities. And so I think I think men look at you as someone who maybe is quite humanitarian, service-oriented, like you care about the well-being of the world or others. I think men also might see you as someone who's quite popular, or someone who influences a lot of people or can easily attract attention. And 3rd house is not just the house of communication and interaction, but in Vedic astrology, it's particularly connected to willpower. So they see you as someone who has a very strong will and a lot of courage as well. Okay, that's pretty much what I see from the cards. Let me get the Astro dice. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What do men find attractive about them? Okay. Oh my gosh. Look at this. We have the south node again. Very strong south node. Ketu, that's what it's called in Vedic. And then we also have number 4. That could be the number 4 as in 4th house. We also have Scorpio. So here's a bit of that Mars energy, that chariot energy. So that intensity that I was talking about. So Scorpio, by the way, is co-ruled by Ketu in Vedic astrology. I know that in tropical it's ruled by Pluto. But yeah, Scorpio is the only sign that Ketu co-rules in Vedic astrology. So that's a further confirmation of this. So there's definitely something mysterious and intense about you. I think you also come across as quite hidden many times. Like, men might see you as someone who reads everyone, but nobody can fully read you. And yet they can also sense this. Scorpio, again, definitely confirms that, you know, resilience and kind of a quiet power. Also, a lot of sexiness, potentially. And 4th house also can show that maybe they think of you as someone who could be a good housewife or a good homemaker, or someone who likes to stay at home, a homebody, someone who likes it cozy. And also 4th house is the home base, you know, so they think that you would be someone who would, be good at taking care of a family or having a family. 4th house can also show that maybe they admire your decoration skills, again, depending on how well they know you. 4th house is anything to do with real estate, homes, vehicles, or something like that, restaurants, anything to do with real estate, really. So it's also about mothering, right, as the house of the mother. So I think men also maybe see you as someone who would make a good mother, or it could be that they admire your ability to make a comfortable home, you know, like your style of decoration and make things cozy and stuff. Okay, this is pretty much what I have for you, pile number 1. I hope you have enjoyed this, and if you have, don't forget to like, subscribe, click on the notifications bell, and comment in the comment section with any feedback you have to share, ideas for future topics that you would like me to cover. Also, if you're interested in getting a private reading, check out the video description for more information. If you would like to support my channel further with tips or becoming a member, or in any way just commenting and subscribing, all of that would help. I would greatly appreciate it. And last but not least, I also have an astrology channel, and I will be linking it in the video description as well. If you're interested in astrology, go ahead and check it out. Maybe subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye! Welcome, pile number 2. This is your reading if you have chosen this card with intuition and or this aquamarine crystal. This is going to be the card selection phase. I'm going to add timestamps so you can skip directly to the reading. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the people who chose the aquamarine crystal. What do men find attractive about them? What do men find attractive about pile number 2? So let's see, we have Queen of Cups. Loads of moon here. 8 of Cups. I already sensed the moon energy from the beginning. We have 4 of Pentacles. We have Page of Cups. We have the World card. And we have the Hermit. Alright. Let's see. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. What do men find attractive about them? King of Cups underneath the Queen of Cups. 9 of Swords. 6 of Swords. Okay, 5 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, underneath the World, Knight of Cups. Holy moly, you have so much water, so many cups here. Not at all surprising because you do have this card with intuition and the moon. I mean, it's dark outside here, so you can tell this is about the moon energy with the intuition. Okay, let me get some oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. What do men find attractive about pile number 2? Okay, this one feels right, actually. The Unseen with number 27. And, okay, another one. What do men find attractive about pile number 2? Raccoon, Inventor. Decide on what you really want. You have the ingenuity to claim it. Avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You have many roles and can juggle them well. Okay, so, and you also have this initial card with intuition, which is very moon dominant. I'm getting a lot of moon and a lot of water here, like right from the start when I saw this card. I was like, this pile has a lot of moon energy. And then it was confirmed through all of the tarot cards that came through. You have the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Cups, the 9 of Cups. So many cups, so much water. The 8 of Cups as well. So you have so much water here. So this could show you are dominant in Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio placements. Or you could have a prominently placed moon in your horoscope. But let me unpack what all of these cards mean. So right off the bat, I am sensing actually potentially strong Hasta energy. If you're familiar with Vedic astrology, Hasta falls in Virgo, in sidereal Virgo, and it is ruled by the moon. And it's actually connected to being really kind of clever and creative and using hands a lot. It's also connected to magicians and magic tricks. So this is what it made me think of when I saw this Raccoon Inventor. But this could also show a strong Rahu maybe in your horoscope. So I'm going to see more about that as I go along. So the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups. First of all, you come across as someone who has a very strong feminine energy. All right. In like irrespective of your gender, you come across as someone who has this kind of maybe soft, imaginative, maybe slightly nurturing, mothering energy. You definitely come across as someone who is, you know, emotional, like has strong emotions and very gentle, kind of like a gentle aura about you. This is what I'm seeing here. And then there is also kind of an anxiety thing. We have the 8 of Cups and the 9 of Swords underneath. So I think men also see you as someone who maybe is a bit anxious, someone who is maybe sometimes prone to overthinking, but I would say mostly anxious. There could be something like a touch of fidgety or something there that men can sense that you are, you know, like constantly noticing your surroundings maybe. Okay, I don't want to sound like you have PTSD or something, but a touch of anxiety, okay? Something kind of like jumpy, you know, kind of makes me think of the energy of a rabbit. You know, like cutesy, but kind of easily spooked. So I feel like men definitely find you attractive because, especially if you're a woman, but even if you're not a woman, they are drawn to your feminine energy, all right? So they're drawn to the kind of soft and magic and soothing sort of energy that you have. I think you're the kind of person that, especially again, if you're a woman, men look at you like their ideal fantasy princess. You know, this is giving me like never-ending story sort of vibes. You know, that's what I was thinking about, the child princess and never-ending story. If you've ever seen that movie in the 90s, sorry, not the 90s, I think it was the 80s. Anyway, so I'm getting kind of like, you know, fairy tale fantasy vibes here, you know, very cutesy, very romantic. I think men also see you as someone who has, again, not directly related to what they find attractive, but I think they see you as someone who maybe has struggled financially, like you come from maybe humble beginnings, or you're someone who has, you know, worked very hard to get some financial stability. They see you as someone who's not flashy. But I think, here's the thing. At the same time, men look at you and they think this is someone who's expensive. I think men, probably because you come across as very cutesy and soft and feminine, they think they're going to have to work very hard to provide for you, you know? So I feel like on the one hand, they find you attractive and you're the kind of person that men want to provide for. You know, they want to feel like they are the protector and provider in the relationship if they were to date you. And because of that, I think you make them nervous because they might feel that they're not making enough money, they're not good enough. So you might bring out those kinds of insecurities about whether they're making a good amount of money, whether they're capable of being, you know, the protector and provider. But on the other hand, I think you're the kind of person that makes men feel masculine. Like, they feel nurtured in their masculine energy around you, and you make them feel good, basically, you know, when they are around you. Like, I'm getting kind of Marilyn Monroe vibes here. Someone like that. Okay, I'm not saying everyone's going to look like Marilyn Monroe, obviously, but it's kind of an energy, you know, that you have that kind of like cuteness and sensitivity that men find, you know, like I said, really brings out their protective side, but at the same time also brings out potential fears about whether they're going to be able to to fulfill that role in your life, basically, of being the protector and provider. We also have Page of Cups, Five of Pentacles here. I have to say, I think men look at you like someone who has been quite sheltered and taken care of in some ways. Now, again, bear in mind, this is all about impressions, right? So, of course, a lot of the men who are looking at you, they may not know anything about you or your life, but this is the kind of vibe that they're getting. They think that you're someone who maybe, not to the point of you were raised with a silver spoon at your mouth or something, but they sense that, you know, you're someone who was taken care of to a large extent, so that you didn't have to want for anything financially or materially. This is what their impression is. And when you look at the World here and the Nine of Cups, so men look at you like someone that they would love to go out. Like, I think on the one hand, you're the kind of person that they would like to show off to other people, but also they see you as someone that they would like to have adventures with, like go traveling with. And there's also a lot of generosity here. I feel like you really fill up their energy, like their heart chakra, you know, like you really motivate them emotionally. Like, they look at you and they feel, this is the kind of woman that I would do things for. You know, or man, again, because it's about energies. Like, this is someone who, you know, inspires. That's the word, inspires. You could be like a muse kind of person. And I also think that men look at you as someone who would increase their status, and also someone who would potentially help them increase their finances. But again, it's not in the sense that they want your money necessarily. But it's more like they feel like you would motivate them. You would stimulate them to make a good amount of money. And that maybe you would also be supportive. We also have the Hermit and the Knight of Cups. I think men see you as, well, first of all, very romantic. Very romantic. Like I said, I mean, this is giving me Muse vibes. You know, you're the kind of person that you might make men feel like little teenagers who are, you know, dealing with their first crush and like wanting to write poems and stuff like that. But also someone who's very intuitive, very sensitive, very creative. And what men also sense is the fact that you are quite discerning. So you're not someone who is like out there spreading your love all around the land, you know what I mean? Like to anyone around. You're discerning and they see you as emotionally loyal. All right. Okay, let's see what I get from the astrological cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. What do men find attractive about pile number 2? We have the 5th house, joy and play. We have Venus, love and beauty. We have Libra, the beautiful minded. We have the Sun, essence and personality. We have Leo, the extrovert. Okay, so I'm getting a bit of fire here as well, which was not really shown through the tarot cards. But the Sun with Leo, and we have Raccoon, inventor. This also speaks of you coming across as really creative. Maybe it shows up in little small ways, the way you carry yourself, the way you talk, maybe your sense of style. So men see you as very creative. With the 5th house and the Sun and Leo the extrovert, men see you as someone who brightens their day, brightens their energy, makes them feel optimistic. 5th house can also speak of not just creativity and drama, also maybe someone who is a bit childlike in some ways, or you're good with children. That could be a thing. There's kind of a playfulness. There's an overall playfulness about you. And they also admire the fact that you are someone who can be in the flow. You know, like you get into that flow sense where you just do something you love and you forget about time and everything. So this is what I'm getting. This is why I think men see you as very creative. And then we have a lot of Venus energy, which definitely shows above average attractiveness. Okay, so men see you as very feminine, very dreamy. Libra also shows that you come across as fair. You know what I'm getting in my mind right now? I'm getting that song by, I think it's Tom Jones. You know, she's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady. That's the vibe that I'm getting here with the Libra. Because Libra is kind of like, you know, it is the lady sort of energy. It is, you know, polished and pretty, you know, my fair lady sort of thing. So I think men see you as someone, like I said, someone that they would like to spoil, someone who's respectable, someone that they admire, not just in terms of like physical beauty, but also style and class, I think. All right. And then you also have physical features that are very pretty and that are very feminine. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. Let me get the Astro dice. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. What do men find attractive about them? Okay, we have number 11. We also have Rahu. Very strong confirmation of what I said with the inventor. You have Rahu, and we have Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. Very strong confirmations. Okay, so you have very feminine energy. That's the moon energy that I was picking up throughout this entire reading, right? So you might have prominent placements, like I said, in the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or a prominent moon, you know, moon conjunct the sun, conjunct many planets, maybe your moon in the 1st house. And then we have Rahu. Rahu is about you having a touch of brilliance, you know. And Rahu is also about being rational, but it's about being non-conforming and creative, you know. So men see you as someone who has like a sparkling sort of personality, like someone who just has maybe even sparks of genius in the way that you present yourself and your creativity. Maybe they are aware of some work that you have done that they admire. They think you are very smart. You're very original, you know. And some of them might be really impressed to the point of being like, they think you're borderline genius. You also have the 11th house, which can be Aquarius energy. So that's more Rahu, because Aquarius is the only sign of the zodiac in Vedic astrology that is co-ruled by Rahu. So it's very kind of a progressive energy. There's also a lot of independence. Also with the 11th house, I think men see you as someone who would be a good friend. And also someone who's maybe humanitarian minded. Someone who's good at, you know, caring about others. And someone who cares about ideals. With the, also with the moon and the sun and all of that. And the 11th house. But they also see you as someone who would probably bring them good luck and gains, even financially. Yeah, so I think they see you as someone who might elevate their social status as well. Yeah. And this is like, especially if you have a social media following, men see that you have a strong influence. Like you're someone who has the ability to influence others, because Rahu is about technology as well. So maybe they see you as tech savvy, or maybe you work in a tech field, but even if not, if you just have like a strong social media following, men admire that, or maybe they admire the way that you present yourself or you post material on social media. Yeah, and there could also be something exotic about you. Rahu is about foreign lands, foreign cultures, and you also have the World card coming out. So you might be someone who's multicultural, comes from a multicultural background, so there might be something exotic about you. Something new and unconventional. Okay, this is what I see about you, pile number 2. I hope you have enjoyed this reading. I definitely have very strong messages. And if you have, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel. It's the easiest way to support me, and it's free. Comment in the comment section with any feedback you would like to give or ideas for future topics you would like me to cover. Also, if you would like to support my channel further, you can do so by becoming a member or leaving a tip any way you would like. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're interested in a private tarot reading, check out the video description. I've left more information about how you can get one there. And last but not least, I have an astrology channel, and I will be linking that in the video description as well. So if you're curious about astrology, go ahead and check it out and maybe subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye! Hello, pile number 3. This is your reading if you have chosen this card over here with Harmony and or this black onyx crystal. So this is going to be the card selection phase. If you don't want to sit through it, I'm going to add timestamps so you can skip directly to the interpretation. Okay, so Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What do men find attractive about them? What do men find attractive about pile number 3? Okay, we have 2 of Wands. We have 8 of Cups. We have 3 of Cups. We have the 4 of Pentacles. We have the Judgment. We have the Hanged Man. All right. Let's see some more cards. Spirit, what do men find attractive about pile number 3? Spirit, what do men find attractive about pile number 3? We have the Chariot. We have the 4 of Pentacles. Twice, okay. We have the 4 of Cups. We have the 10 of Wands. We have the Sun. And we have the Justice. All right, let's get some oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the black onyx. What do men find attractive about them? Spirit, tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the black onyx. What do men find attractive about them? We have the humpback whale singer. Sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. And we have the Ring. Okay, I kind of makes me think of that horror movie from the early 2000s. And this is the number 57. Okay, 57, that's a 5 and a 7. That's a number 12, right? Sorry, it's late at night. I think, yeah, it's a number 12, right? So that's ruled by Jupiter. We have the Ring. Of course, it also makes me think of the Ring of Power. And then you also have this message about power here with the Humpback Whale card as well. And then, of course, you also have the original Harmony card, Oracle card. So we do have Harmony, we have Justice, we have the Hanged Man. This is a lot of Libra symbolism. So I'm guessing many of you have a strong Libra in your horoscope, or a strong 7th house, or you could also have a strong Venus. Oh, and I forgot to say, you have a card that came out twice, which is the 4 of Pentacles. A card that shows stability and frugality to some extent. And someone who's quite self-contained and stable. Okay, but let me break it down. So we have the 2 of Wands, we have the Chariot. So I think what men admire about you, well, first and foremost, the overall message that I'm getting from here is stability. All right, so I think men look at you like someone who could bring order to chaos. Maybe you're someone who has a very balanced personality, someone who's not easily shaken up. It's like you have a very solid foundation, a solid core, or that's how they see you at least. And you're also someone who's very diplomatic. I think you look like someone who can handle conflict situations, negotiations. You're able to put yourself in other people's shoes. You're able to meet others halfway. You're very fair in all of your dealings. And then you also have a strong ability to push through and to get out of your comfort zone. I see this really strongly with the 2 of Wands clarified by the Chariot here. So this basically shows that, sorry, I had to fix the light a little bit. So this basically shows that you have the ability to plow through obstacles and your fears and insecurities and go after what you want. Yeah. And then I think that men also admire, so they admire this never say die sort of attitude, the ability to just get things done and go after what you want. That's definitely one thing. But I'm getting also with all the Libra, Venusian energy, we also have the Sun here, which is very strong about rationality and intelligence, right? So you seem like a very logical person as well, especially since we have the Justice and the Sun underneath. So that's a lot of logical thinking, a lot of a very strong critical eye, you know, someone who has an eye for detail, someone who doesn't miss much, you know. You're probably someone who can spot all kinds of imperfections, you know, not a lot gets past you because you have a very sharp sense of observation. And so what I was going to say though is, yeah, you're kind of like an iron fist in velvet glove. This is kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. So this is how men perceive you, you know. It's like you're very diplomatic, very nice. You could also present yourself in a way that is really pleasant, charismatic, and, you know, decent. But you also have like an inner toughness about you. So we have the 8 of Cups clarified by the 4 of Pentacles. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles here again, clarified by the 10 of Wands. So this is going to be specifically what I see about finances. I think men actually admire the fact that you don't seem like you're someone who wastes a lot of money. Men, well, I guess take it with a grain of salt, depends on how much they know about you, of course. But if this is someone, if these are people that know you to some extent, maybe know how much money you're making or your history, where you come from, I think a lot of men admire the fact that you are very good at managing your finances, and you're not someone who is frivolous or like, you know, throws money out the window. I think you come across as someone who's very responsible when it comes to your finances, and maybe really good at planning a budget. I have to say this is also like leaning towards frugality. So I think maybe, I mean, again, see how this resonates. Maybe some of you are into minimalism and maybe you've made that, very very obvious to other people. So if that is you, that's definitely something that men admire about you, the fact that you just seem to get by on not a lot of stuff financially. It could be that men just see that as, well, again, they see that as a sign that you're not a superficial person, You're like a salt of the earth sort of person, like a meat and potatoes kind of person, someone reliable, someone who's down to earth, no frills kind of thing. And we also have the Three of Cups clarified by the Four of Cups. This is weird. I'm getting a weird feeling of deja vu here. I wonder if this exact combination came with another pile, but I don't remember. To be perfectly honest, I'm recording this part, the third pile, like more than 10 hours since I recorded the rest of them because I had to start my shift at work in the meantime, so here I am. So I have no idea what happened in the other piles, but I'm getting this weird deja vu here. Like, I think this may have come through in one of the other piles. So anyway, with the Three of Cups clarified by the Four of Cups, I think men see you as someone who, actually, it's not like they see you. This is gonna sound weird, but I think what keeps men from approaching you, or what they might be thinking about in terms of what they don't like about you, let me put it like that. I know that this is a reading about what men find attractive about you, but I'm reading the cards at the end of the day, so whatever comes through, right? And what I'm seeing here is that men may not approach you because they're afraid of your entourage, on the one hand, and or the judgment of your entourage. So maybe you're the kind of person who has 1, 2, 3, or multiple friends, or you're always hanging out with a group of people that you know, or like, especially in public places, like if men see you hanging out with a lot of friends, they will feel intimidated to approach you. That could be one thing that I'm seeing here. Another way to read this is actually could be the other way around. Like, it could be that some men look at you and they're afraid of what their friends might think if they approach you, or what their friends might, how their friends might accept you or not accept you. And I know maybe this is not a very positive thing, but this is what I'm seeing here. So I thought I would share it. Maybe it's gonna help you to be aware of this. But I think overall, they might see you as someone who is really picky, and like someone who, especially, like I said, so especially if you're hanging out with other people, especially other women in public, because again, most of you who are watching this are women, so that's why I'm addressing to you as if you're women, but of course, take it how it resonates. But I feel like it's your entourage, you're like hanging out with some people that, okay, take this how it resonates, okay? Maybe this is also a message about, maybe there's people in your entourage that are negatively impacting your dating life or something, in the sense that, I don't know, men don't approach you because they have a bad vibe about your friends. Okay, so I definitely felt like these were more specific messages, definitely not for everyone, but I still felt like I had to say it. And I also think that men admire the fact that you seem like someone who is really tough and really strong, like someone who has, overcome a lot of hardship by yourself. And again, I'm getting a sense that men admire the fact that you look like someone who doesn't really need anyone. Like, you're pretty good at taking care of yourself financially, especially. But even though they see that, sometimes you're maybe overwhelmed by how much you have to do and like work and all that stuff, they still admire the fact that you have that resilience. I'm also getting the sense that, I think men see you as someone who would rather basically, get by on, let's say, less money and less material things just in order to stay true to your morals. And that's definitely something they admire about you. And yeah, like I said, with the judgment clarified by the sun, I think most of you are most of you are very rational people, also very creative. I think there could also be an energy about you that is very uplifting. There's very bright and sunny, whether you see that or not. But I think men feel like you're a very warm person and almost like you brighten their day when they see you. But then they also see you as someone who's very rational, capable of being very rational. Creative, but rational. And then with the Hangman and the Justice, like I said, I feel like men admire the fact that you're someone who can look at things from every perspective. Like you're very objective, very fair. So I'm getting a very strong sense of morality out of this spread, really. That's ultimately the main idea. Also, when you think about a ring, a ring is kind of like has no beginning, no end. So this is kind of going hand in hand with everything, harmony of the ring, in the sense that, and also we have kind of a ring shape here as well, in the sense that, you come across as someone who is not easily shaken up by your environment. And it's like you have this inner balance that is not easily perturbed. Yeah, so also with this message on the humpback whale, like nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal, aligned with your purpose and the power in your soul. So I think you come across as a very powerful person, pile number 3. But I feel like you might not be, I think men see you as someone who may not be fully aware of how strong you are. That would definitely explain the Hangman. And then we also have the number 12 again, the Hangman and the number, like I said, 57, which boils down to a 12 here with the ring, which is Jupiterian energy. So I think men definitely see you as someone who's very principled, maybe even a little bit idealistic, like someone who holds on to ideals, which is a rare thing these days, right? So yeah, this is pretty much what I'm seeing with respect to what they find attractive. Let me get the astrological cards. Let's see, Spirit, what do men find attractive about pile number 3? Oh my gosh, we have the sun again. So we also have sun in the tarot cards. We have trine. We have the moon as well. We have the 9th house. There's the Jupiter energy, learning and faith. And we have Gemini, the communicative. Okay, so first of all, this shows that, again, there's this very strong sense of power here. You come across as someone who has leadership potential, whether you realize it or not, and men find that very attractive, together with your overall energy, your passion, your ability to go after what you want. And also, I feel a generally positive vibe. Like, whether you feel it or not, you come across as someone who has a positive vibe. And the moon energy also shows that you have some very good feminine qualities as well. So overall, with the sun and the moon, I see a good balance of masculine and feminine qualities. It's like some sides of you seem very feminine and the others are very masculine for some reason. But overall, this is making me think again of the Justice card, which is someone who's really balanced. The 9th house could show that maybe you come across as someone who is well educated. I think men admire your knowledge, irrespective of your level of education. They admire how smart you are and that you seem quite knowledgeable. And also broad-minded. Depending on the situation, men could also admire your ability to teach. And they could also admire your belief and your ideals. I feel like this is the more respectful of the 3 piles. Not that the other ones were not respectful in energy, but this one by far has more of a, I don't know, like there's this very strong spiritual admiration here. So it's not just like, you know, men look at you like, oh, you're so hot. You know, there's this feeling of respect here. Like men are impressed by you. They're like, wow, you know. Like, I didn't know they make him like that anymore, you know. Okay, let's get the Astro dice. This is pretty much what I'm getting. And also with Gemini, there could also be a youthfulness about you, and also they admire your ability to communicate. This can also be a versatility, right? So, like, you come across as someone who is, like, versatile and maybe also good at socializing, funny, you know, having a good sense of humor. That's coming through, yeah. So all of those things are also things that they admire. So let me get the Astro dice, Spirit. What do men admire about, or what do men find attractive about pile number 3? Okay, so we have K2. So there is a spiritual energy even more. Oh my gosh, we have the number 12 again. We have the number 12. Let me put it like this so you can see it. Number 12 again, all right? So number 12 is very strong here in this spread. So maybe some of you are born on the 12th of the month, or a number that boils down to a number 3, like the number 12. And we have Pisces, which is also very spiritual, okay? So Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter. So there's definitely a lot of Jupiter energy here. So yeah, you could have placements in, well, in Pisces or in Sagittarius. You could have a prominently placed Jupiter. Or you could have a lot of placements in the nakshatras ruled by Jupiter, Punarvasu, Vishaka, and Purvabhadrapada, for those of you who are very familiar with Vedic astrology. If you're not, go ahead and check my astrology channel from the video description and you're going to find out more. Short commercial break. But yeah, this is pretty much what I'm seeing here. But also Jupiter, I have to say it as kind of like a cherry on top. Jupiter is also the planet of marriage and children. So I do think that men kind of look at you as marriage material, and marriage and or parent material. Like, you're someone who would be good at giving other people good values and teaching and guiding, you know, especially children, but anyone who's, like, let's say in a less spiritual, less developed position than you are in. So with the K2, again, there's also a touch of mysterious about you, and you could also have something delicate and refined about your appearance. Also with Pisces, K2, and the 12th house and the moon and the sun, normally I wouldn't get into physical characteristics, but I have to say, like, in this pile, there's an overwhelming energy of light colors. So that could also be something that men find attractive, right? I don't know, the fact that you have light-colored eyes, light-colored hair, or very fair skin, or something like that. Aside from that, yeah, the spiritual aspect, that's very strong. I think men also see you as someone who's very deep, very hidden as well, mysterious, maybe with a tendency towards research. This is more specific, but depending on how well they know you, they admire your ability to research and get down to the bottom of things. And they also admire your intuition and your insights. All right, this is pretty much what I have for you, pile number 3. I hope you have enjoyed it. I definitely have. Loads of strong messages as usual. And if you have, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, click on the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. Also, comment in the comment section with any other topics that you would like me to cover on this channel. And if you would like to support me further, of course, you can do so by, I don't know, leaving a tip or subscribing, sharing these videos, becoming a member on my channel in exchange for a small monthly fee. I would greatly appreciate any kind of support. And then, of course, if you're interested in a private tarot reading, you can check out the video description. I will leave my contact information there. I've also left a link to reviews I've gotten for private readings before in case you want to see them. So you can check that out if you are interested in getting a private reading from me. And last but not least, as I have mentioned, I have an astrology channel where I focus mainly on Vedic astrology, but also with some tropical insights. I have more than 20 years of experience reading astrological charts by this point, more than 10 in Vedic astrology. And Vedic astrology together with the sidereal zodiac, that's my preferred method of analysis right now. So if you're interested in astrology, you would like to learn more about it, go ahead and check out my channel from the video description, maybe subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye!